Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Buddha Affirmation. Here every story has a purpose and every lesson is meant to help you grow in a life. So let's dive into a new story that will teach us a deep lesson about patience and perseverance. So let's start the story. Once upon a time, Gautam Buddha and his disciples were on a long journey, traveling through different regions. These trips were not just about getting from one place to another, they were about learning, growing, and discovering deeper meanings in life. Buddha, with his calm and wise nature, always knew that each day could bring important lessons. As they walked along dusty paths under the hot sun, the disciples felt a mix of joy and exhaustion. Walking with Buddha was a great honor, but it was not always easy. They often traveled long distances, moving from one village to another, meeting new people, and facing challenges that taught them valuable life lessons. One hot day, as they passed through a large village, one of Buddha's disciples, Anand, started feeling incredibly thirsty. The sun was blazing and they had been walking for hours without finding any water. Anand was young and eager to learn from Buddha. He admired Buddha's calm wisdom, but sometimes he struggled with patience, especially when things did not happen quickly enough. Today was one of those days. As they kept walking, Anand spotted a villager coming toward them, carrying an empty pot. The man seemed to be heading somewhere to fetch water. Desperate for relief, Anand hurried up to him. "Excuse me, sir," Anand said, his voice dry from thirst. "Could you please share some water with us? We have been walking for hours and I am really thirsty." The man looked at Anand with a kind but sad expression and replied, "I wish I could help you, but our village has a serious water issue. There is no water here, not even for villagers. We have to walk all the way to a river outside the village, deep in the forest, to get water, and that is where I am heading now." Anand was shocked and asked, "You mean there is no water in the whole village? Not even a well or a pond?" The man shook his head and said, "No, sadly, there is not. We have tried digging wells all over the village, but we have not had any luck. It has been like this for as long as I can remember." Feeling disappointed but grateful for the explanation, Anand thanked the man and watched him continue toward the forest. As Anand walked back to rejoin the group, he could not stop thinking about how such a big village could be without water. It just did not seem possible. As they walked further in the village, something caught Anand's eyes. The ground was full of holes, big, small, deep, and shallow. It seemed strange, and Anand could not help but wonder why there were so many holes. What had the villagers been doing? Curiosity got the better of him. So Anand approached Buddha, who had been observing everything with his usual calm and thoughtful expression. Anand respectfully addressed Buddha and said, "Master, I have noticed that this village is full of holes, yet the people still don't have any water. Why is that?" Buddha smiled gently, sensing the opportunity to teach an important lesson, and said, "Anand, these holes were dug by the villagers in search of water." Anand frowned, still confused, and asked, "But if they dug so many holes, why did not they find any water? It looks like they worked really hard. It is sad that they still don't have water after all that effort." Buddha looked at Anand with understanding and said, "Anand, the villagers did not fail because they did not try hard enough. They failed because of the way they went about it." Anand was puzzled and asked, "What do you mean, master? Did not they dig all these holes? Buddha nodded. Yes, they did, but look closely. None of these holes are very deep. The villagers started digging in one spot, but when they did not find water quickly, they got impatient. They gave up on that hole and moved on to dig another one. And when water did not come quickly there either, they abandoned that hole too and started digging somewhere else. Anand looked around again, this time paying more attention. He noticed that each hole had been dug only part way. None of them had been dug deep enough to reach the water. They did not dig enough, Anand said to himself. Finally, understanding, Buddha said, exactly. The villagers did not have the patience to keep digging in one place. If they had focused on just one spot and dug deep enough, they would have eventually found water. But instead, they spread their efforts across too many shallow holes. In doing so, they wasted both their energy and their time. Now, they remain without water. Anand felt a wave of realization. This was not just about digging holes, it was a lesson about life, focus, and perseverance. Buddha continued, this is a mistake many of us make, Anand. In their life, people often start something with great enthusiasm. But when they don't see quick results, they get discouraged. They abandon their efforts and start something new, thinking the next thing will bring success. But success does not come that way. Success requires patience, persistence, and focused effort. Just like finding water, real success in life only comes when we stay dedicated to one path and keep digging. Anand nodded, absorbing Buddha's words. He had often felt impatient on his own journey, wishing for quick progress and fast answers. Now he realized that his impatience might have been holding him back. The other disciples had gathered around, quietly listening to Buddha's teaching. They too understood the depth of lesson. As the journey continued, Anand could not stop thinking about the villages and their shallow holes. He reflected on his own life, wondering how many times he had given up too soon, how many times had he started digging in one place only to leave it for another when the results did not come fast enough. In the days that followed, Anand made a personal commitment that he would work on more patient and persistent. He would focus his energy on one goal at a time and dig deep, just as Buddha had taught. He understood that success, whether in spiritual growth or anything else, would come with patience, just like the water hidden deep beneath the ground, waiting to be found. This story teaches that success requires patience, focus, and perseverance. Just like the villagers who could not find water because they kept digging shallow wells, we too fail when we don't stick to a goal long enough. To achieve success, we must stay committed to one path, work consistently, and not give up when the results are not immediate. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy this video, hit like button, and for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.